Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. It's Jordan Jonah Sparks, and in today's episode of So You Wanna Be a Star is Acting 101. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys my biggest tips. I'm not really going to number things anymore because I tend to just go way off track and start rambling, so I'm just going to throw out to you guys a bunch of my favorite tips when it comes to acting. So a little about me, if you are new to my channel, please press the subscribe button. My name is Jordan Sparks. I have been an actor for a really long time, and I've worked in film and television and in theater and musical theater, and yeah, so I'm going to share my acting tips with you. So the biggest acting tip that I've got, one of the most useful and something that you'll probably hear all the time if you're taking acting or drama classes, is that acting is reacting. So what that really means is, say you are in a scene and you have a scene partner. How you are going to say your lines and how you are going to be in that moment is going to depend on how your scene partner is in that moment as well. What they are giving you to play off of. So you need to feed off of that energy, react to whatever they gave you. And so say that you are not in a scene and you are doing a monologue. Well, that's why actors have to have a fantastic imagination, because you need to put yourself in a scene so that you can be in a place talking to a specific person or group of people, whatever it may be, and you need to really connect with that person that you're imagining. You need to be able to see their face so that you can actually talk to them, because that person needs to be there in order for us to believe that you're actually talking to somebody. So, reacting and having a great imagination. Another tip is acting is natural. So you are not presenting something when you are acting. You are not hosting something when you are acting. It's not a YouTube channel. So you have to be natural. And some people will argue, well, theater and musical theater, it's larger than life. Yes, it has to be large when you're in a theater with a giant audience and you have a balcony row 100 meters away from you that needs to be able to read your emotion, but it still needs to be natural in order for it to be believable. It has to come from a real place of actual emotion. It cannot be just something that is really big and loud. That is not acting. Or when people do Shakespeare and they all of a sudden go, "Through yonder window breaks, I must talk in this deep Shakespearean voice, so that I can be an actor." That is not acting. So acting comes from a natural place and a natural place of emotion in order for it to be believable. Yes, sometimes it needs to be larger than life, but it still has to be natural. It has to be coming from a natural place of emotion. So now that we're talking about larger than life, so we have musical theater. Basically what it comes to in musical theater is that you have to say your lines as your character. So there's regular scenes, there's dialogue, there's monologues. And then what they say is that when the emotion is heightened so much that you can no longer get across what you're trying to say with words, so when people would normally yell and scream and fight in real life, or they would jump with glee, or they would bawl their face off and cry, those like periods of really, really, really heightened emotion, that's when you start singing in a musical. So it goes acting, dialogue, 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 energy, energy, building, 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 building. I can't get across what I'm feeling anymore with dialogue, so I have to start singing. And then that just keeps building and building and building until I can no longer sing it. It can't be with words. I need to dance because it has to be physical. And that's when you start dancing in a musical. And so that's how that energy builds throughout the story. And it's all acting. Whether you're singing, whether you're dancing, whether it's just lines in musical theater, it's all acting and it's all energy. That's why when you're watching a great performance of musical theater, you're engulfed in it as transition seamlessly from the acting into the singing into a giant musical number, but they're all still so in character and connected to a place of real natural emotion, and that is acting. These same rules apply for straight theater. There's just different dynamics in building of energy throughout shifts of dialogue, but sometimes they do include movement and music in straight theater, but it's generally the exact same thing. The energy builds and builds and builds, and that's what heightens the stakes in a situation or in a scene. And then that brings us to film. And the biggest tip that I have for film is that the camera is going to pick up exactly what is happening right there. So what is right in front of you is exactly what the camera is going to see. How you're speaking is exactly how it's going to be heard. So when you need to be on stage and you have a giant audience of people, you need to enunciate and speak from your diaphragm in order to be louder. That doesn't mean that you need to put on your Shakespearean voice, but it does mean that you need to use your diaphragm to have a very loud presented voice that's going to carry to the rest of the audience. Now when you're doing film, that is not the case at all. There's sometimes in film where it can be this intimate, and that's how loud the actors are actually talking. So as you can see, if you're whispering in a scene on film, you're actually whispering because they're going to have a microphone right there. It's going to be right up in your face, and it's going to pick up the most quiet of a whisper. And that's why film is so real when you watch it. And that's really the difference between a film and television actor and a musical theater or a theater actor, is just how big you're playing. So you can have very little muscle movement in your face, or as they would say, 0% muscle in your face when you're acting on film, and then just the smallest little thing reads really big because there's a camera right in your face. But when you're in theater, just like a quiver of the lip or a gentle smile is not going to read to the audience. It's not going to read to the balcony. It's not even going to read to the first row. That's why you need to be really big with theater, but it still has to come from a natural, honed place of emotion. It's not just a giant glued-on smile and doing choreography, whatever that may be. That's not what acting is. And so that goes all across the board. Whether you're a singer, dancer, or just a plain actor, whether you do musical theater, film, television, all that acting is emotion coming from a natural place and reacting to what is given to you. So whether you're reacting to another person or a person that you've created or a scene that is occurring, it's just reacting to that, and that is all that acting is. So that is my Acting 101. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that it helped you in some way, shape, or form. Let me know in the comments below if you are a film actor, a TV actor, a musical theater, or you just do straight theater, community theater, you work professionally, or you just really, really want to start being an actor, or you're just taking drama class, whatever it is. Let me know in the comments below, because I would love to tailor these videos to you guys that are watching. So, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Jordan Jonah Sparks, and make sure to press that juicy red subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with anybody that you think could really use some tips and tricks. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Bye.